So anyways, so TJ and Dylan from Party Bears were like, let's make the clothing interchangeable. And that opened up a gang of whoop ass. Am I using that term right?
Have you guys seen the Discord today? We've been chatting it up about this swappables and wearables.
No, tell us what's the go? What's the go? What's the general vibe?
Everybody's trying to figure out what it's going to look like and just how all the wearables are going to work and how it affects the NFT. And yeah, it's just an exciting conversation. And it's really cool to have the community helping us really like develop the path and what it looks like and how it's all going to roll out.
Well, I think the very first thing that people bring up, because traditional 10K collection NFTs have this kind of rarity matrix, and it's like, oh, yours has like leopard, a cheetah skin like jacket or whatever. And understanding the moment that we took the backgrounds, which obviously they were a neutral rarity at first, right? There was around 730 of each of the backgrounds. And so we weren't really affecting the rankings. But of course, very quickly, we just started to introduce more rare backgrounds. And that didn't affect people in the way that they collected. They just started creating their own combos. And suddenly traditional static rarity was out the window. And we created this concept, dynamic rarity. That's a term I made up right now, but it was pretty good, so I'm going to stick with it. Dynamic rarity is a term where each of the components has its own rarity, and the combination of them creates a dynamic rarity. Trademark Brooke Howard-Smith 2022.
It's super exciting to see people building that their rarity and just like choosing what. I mean, I just saw a couple of bears that had like the mansion and the young and sick backgrounds.
So cool.
The ability to change your NFT is like really amazing.
Yeah, and you know, I knew it was going to be cool, but seeing bears on young and sick was like, and I think what was the cool one with the throw that I saw on that young and sick background? Someone just dropped an amazing bear anyways. But the point is, this is unleashing. We're not pure consumers. These communities are creator consumers. We all want to create and mix and match and do these things. And it's just the start of it. Now, when I talked to Arlo about like this podcast, I was like, we should start to really lean into the direction we're heading. So Arlo's background, my background, clothing for a very long time. We always talk about the fact that we had a successful clothing company. Did we bring that up? But the fact that we're at this intersection where clothing itself, like, you know, your wearable signals are now turning into a digital medium as well. It's so exciting, right?
Yeah, I mean, the moment that you can change your NFT, what your bear's wearing, I mean, it's really just going to change the game on like how unique you can make something, and you'll be able to build rarity that other NFT collections can't even imagine doing.
God, we're on a tangent here, but the other crazy thing that TJ and Dylan and the Bears team were like, right, we're going to make the clothing dynamic. You can change the clothing. And everyone's like, that's mind-blowing, be insane. And then they're like, and the dancers. And so, or the animation. So the future for you guys, you'll be able to change into like a drug receipt shirt and then potentially have a rig from a choreographer, or it could be a skate move. It could be anything, right?
To your question, actually, you see I'm wearing drug receipts merch right now, right? Let me see that.
Yep.
Right. And Brooke and I have a background, as he said, doing apparel and merchandising. We did Senate a long time ago, and I've done a lot of clothing brands. And so there's this opportunity to do a brand that is not just constrained to the IRL world, right? The metaverse, Web3, all those things open up apparel and merchandising to a literal whole new universe. And the fact is that gaming already exists, right? These spaces already exist. It's not like the concept of putting clothes onto your avatars is a new concept. People have been doing it for years. You can go into marketplaces right now and change the skin on your characters. What's different, the key critical difference with Web3 is ownership, right? So you'll be able to own the clothes that you, and this is the revolutionary thing that party bears have done, right? That now you can actually, you own not just the avatar, but you own the clothes, everything, as Brooke says, no, not dynamic rarity. Now what we're talking about is dynamic ownership, right? Every piece of the puzzle is something that you can own, trade, sell, and that is the key critical difference between Web3 and everything that came before it. And so when people talk about the metaverse, and boomers like me, like we bemoan the metaverse, we're like, oh, people are just going to be spending all their days in headsets or too much time in front of screens, or whatever our dystopian fears are the metaverse. The fact is that ship has already sailed. Gen Z is already doing it. When Brooke, you asked me what I came across in my reading, Gen Z spends 8 hours a day on average in front of screens. Something like 89% of Gen Zers have played video games in the last 6 months. I mean, this is overwhelming. This is where trends are heading for the next generation.